Nadeem said, I don't know why Russell took this fight with Haney. And Tochi said, what's up? What's up? I'm happy Russell getting his big name fight, and also that Haney isn't fighting Gamboa. So you want to take both of them on?
To be fair, with the first comment, I mean, I don't know why Russell took this fight. I mean, it did come out of nowhere, to be honest. I didn't see that. If that wasn't on my radar, I mean, I couldn't see why he would take the fight, because he did have a lot of lucrative options at 122 pounds. And in my mind, I'm thinking, if Eddie Hearn's willing to make the Gary Russell fight with Devin Haney, he could have just made the Warrington fight with Gary Russell. That fight would have made more sense. But I mean, I think it's a risk worth taking, because financially he's 1.5 million. Devin Haney's a big enough name now, and I think he will get enough credit for it as well. And plus, the promotion of it will probably be bigger than any other fight he's ever had in terms of promotion, even bigger than Lomachenko, because let's be honest, there wasn't much genuine needle between them like there is between Haney and Gary Russell. And if he is trying to move up, you know, there's nobody else better to fight right now because everybody else is tied up. So,
yeah, man, we done had a few more people jump in here. Toshi said he's happy Russell getting the big name fight, so that Haney isn't fighting Gamboa. I'm very happy about that. I don't want to see Gamboa fighting in a senior citizen home. I don't want to see him fighting in the street. I don't want to see him fighting at the local parking lot or the local corner store or the supermarket. I don't want to see Gamboa fight, period. If you gotta fight, you gotta come into the ring with an ace bandage on your knee, like Sergio Martinez did against Cotto. You losing. Like, I already know you're gonna lose.
but I said this the other day. I said this to you the other day. These Cuban fighters, they don't age well. No, they don't really age well.
How they age, Shane?
They aging like the milk.
So Dead Game Boxing is in the building. What's up with you, bro? He responded to Beans 2K. He said, because if Gary wins, he is now in the pound for pound talk, and he's a 135-pound WBC champion.
Let's touch on that. Let's touch on that.
I'm gonna let you get that. I have a weird feeling that we're thinking the same way on this one, but I'm gonna let you.
Well, for me, he won't be on the pound for pound list. But what it does do, it does take him one step closer to avenging that defeat he has on his record. So, if everybody knows, the franchise champion is Loma, you know, and if Gary Russell goes up and beats Devin Haney, you know, he's taking himself one step closer to Lomachenko. And to me, Lomachenko is a victory over Lomachenko puts you on the pound for pound list. A victory over Devin Haney doesn't. Because to be fair, with all due respect to Devin Haney, Gary Russell, in hindsight, should be winning. Remove his remove the weight class and stuff like that. Just off the fact, based off ability and experience, he should be winning it. But you know, we'll get onto that.
Mike Patterson in this real quick. Mike, the topic is Gary Russell Jr. Do you like the fight for Gary Russell Jr. against Devin Haney? You think that's a good matchup for him?
Hell no. Hell no. And I'm a Gary Russell fan. I'm a Devin Haney fan as well.
Can you tell him why? Why you feel that way?
I think that's just too much. Like, that's an elite 35-pounder right there. You know, that's not a tune-up. That's not, you know, somebody that's on their way out. That's somebody that's young, hungry, and they want Lomachenko. So, like, I personally think the Leo Santa Cruz fight would be better for Gary Russell.
Absolutely. But he would have never got that fight. He would have never got that fight. He would have never got the Leo. He's been chasing him for years. So
he's been chasing him for a long time.
That's why I want to see it. You know, like, it's more his.
In response to that, I do agree with you in terms of it not being the right stylistic fight for him. But if you look at it from a promotional perspective, let's be honest, what other options is going to be that lucrative and going to give him that much of a platform? Let's be honest, he's been fighting for years, and he has to fight a prospect to get his biggest payday or his biggest name. Let's be honest, that's not good
But
look.
from the
That's not a good
promotional
look.
aspect, it would be easier to get the Leo Santa Cruz fight because they're both under the PBC banner.
No. I'm not saying easier. I mean, in terms of like how big the fight will be.
It'll be a big fight.
Haney fight will be a big
trilogy
fight.
or a rematch, depending on how that fight will go. But him against Haney, I don't see that going too far at all. Actually, like 6 or 7.
Is the jump up in weight the problem you have, Mike?
The weight, and Haney's a killer, man. He's a fucking animal right now. He's young, he's hungry, he's in great condition. He's got years of great amateur experience, just like Gary Russell. And then, like you said, the weight, like that's 10 pounds up. This guy's hitting way harder, than what Gary Russell is used to. I don't think that's a good matchup at all.
An intriguing fight, Carlos.
Why didn't he fight Shakur? Shakur's at his weight class, and he's another prospect.
I can name
that's a better fight for him.
I can name about 5 guys right now, like at his weight class or one level above that he could fight. I'm like, you got Shakur, you got Burchell, you got
Warrington,
you got Warrington, you got Fram. He could fight Jamel Herring at 130. It's about 10 names I can run off. It's about 10 I can run off.
He can beat most of those.
Yeah, if not all.
I don't know about that.
Yeah. Shakur might be a little bit of challenge.
What do you mean you don't know about that? Who do you think he won't beat?
I want the Leo fight. That's what I want.
I think he'll beat Jamel Herring.
Say it again.
Jamel Herring. But I don't
think he'll beat Jamel.
I don't think he beat Mitchell.
I don't think he beat Burchell.
I don't know about that one. I think he beat. I got to brush up on Burchell a little bit more. But he was asking for Burchell.
I think he beats Warrington.
I think he beats Warrington. I think he beats Frank.
I agree with that.
I think he beats Shakur.
I don't know about that.
That one, I'm on the fence about.
I think he beats Shakur. I think he beats Shakur. I don't think Shakur has that deterrent. I don't think Shakur has that deterrent. I mean, I've seen a lot of guys run up on Shakur.
I don't know about that. I don't know.
I want to see how Shakur does late against somebody with that pressure. That's what I'm curious about.
Yeah, that's a 50 to me. That's a 50-50 fight.
Seriously. No, I don't think so. I think Gary Russell. I think Gary Russell run up on him easy.
We can do a whole nother live about that. That's cool. I ain't got no problem with that. Toshi says Ryan has a bigger step up fighting Campbell than Haney does with Russell. Ooh.
Click the. Oh, you thank you.
For Ryan, yes, I would say that. But then for Gary Russell, it's a big ass step up too. I think the biggest thing is the danger factor. Like, in my line of business, when I'm scouting fighters, there's a danger factor. Not only are you going to lose, but how are you going to lose? So with Haney, you're not going to just, go home, okay, I lost on points. You're probably going to get knocked the fuck out. Right? That's probably going to happen for Gary Russell.
Okay, so as a manager, Mike,
okay.
if he was Ryan Garcia, or if you were Ryan Garcia, or in fact, let's change it. If you were Devin Haney, would you advise him to take the Gary Russell fight?
Hell yeah.
Would you have advised Russell to take the Haney fight?
No.
Hell no.
Okay, so wait. If you were Campbell's manager, would you have advised him to take the Garcia fight?
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
If you were, so that's the reason why I said
Garcia manager, would I advise him to take the Campbell fight? Maybe not right now. Maybe after.
I mean, I think
I would take it. I
don't know, because you can get edged. Campbell has a lot of technical elite things, and if you lose a lot of that hype, Ryan. Right now, you got the internet buzzing. You're undefeated. So if you get outboxed, some of that goes down.
Luke Campbell has shown enough in his career, negatives in his career, to where Ryan Garcia can't. Like, if you was to really study Luke Campbell, Mike, as a manager, you'll watch all the tape on him. You'll be like, yeah, I take that fight because at the very least you're gonna find out about your guy. You understand?
Yeah, that's true. But I want his
you know,
buzz to last as long as possible.
but you know what, Mike. In addition to what Jeff said, you said something, and you kind of went back on what you said. You said how you lose. One thing you know, Ryan, if he does lose to Campbell, he ain't gonna lose in bad fashion because Campbell don't wipe the floor with fighters.
He don't.
Anybody at elite level, he gives them.
No.
He gives enough. He gives up enough where you will have moments in the fight, like in the Linares fight, in the Mendy fight, in the Lomachenko fight. You will have moments in the fight. So like,
he do very well.